Hey, what's up, fellas? Welcome back to Top Rope Trash Talk. Today, this is the second episode. I call it the best crowd. Now, why the best crowd? Because WrestleMania Backlash happened not that long ago, and it's like the first time we've had a pay-per-view in Paris. Probably one of the best damn crowds of all time. It sounded like the World Cup. I mean, to be fair, this is European people, and if I'm being honest, they celebrate and chant better than American crowds do. Sorry, it's just true. um, it's just facts. But anyway, so it was a great pay-per-view. A lot of stuff interesting. A lot of interesting things happened. Next to WrestleMania, next to this year's WrestleMania, next to the last couple of pay-per-views, I mean, more could have happened, to be honest. I was a bit bored to the point where I actually wanted to stop watching for a little bit near the end. I wasn't feeling it all that much, but I saw pretty much all of it. There was like one match that I can't even remember what match it was that I had stopped watching. I watched it, but that I really fully watched that match. That's the question. Some of it, I don't remember the name of the match. But anyway, we're going to get into our first match here in this next segment. Match 1. Now, this might be the most interesting match of the night. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens get defeated by the Bloodline. Now, if you've been paying attention enough, you know that Roman Reigns is still gone, because that's what he said he would do. He left, and so pretty much Solo Sikoa, the Usos' younger brother, is running the Bloodline, and Paul Heyman hates every second of it. But anyway, yeah, surprisingly enough, they destroyed Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Sad, because Randy Orton was on a crazy run. I'm really hoping he doesn't have another fall off. But anyway, the Raw before this, a couple of Raws before this, we had a return, a debut of their stepbrother, Tama Tonga. Correct me if I'm wrong. He is related to them by adoption. Tama Tonga, well, not by sort of by adoption, you know what I mean. Or is it half? Something like that. Anyway, Tama Tonga joined the Bloodline as a surprise. So, of course, he participated in this match alongside Solo Sikoa, being managed by Paul Heyman, against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. So, what happened in this match? It's a little blurry what exactly happened in this match. I really got to start watching the matches before, right before I film the show, because I have access to the pay-per-views. The reason one of the biggest, I was going to rewatch WrestleMania. Actually, no, yeah, I could have. I guess I just forgot. Or more, I wasn't entirely sure if it was fully up yet for people to rewatch. It was, long story short. Oh, it was. But, yeah, but I really screwed up there with that one. I should have done it this time, but these last few weeks have been a little bit taxing on me, and I've also was busy myself today, especially this morning. Hell, I forgot my figures and I had to walk home to get them before this filming. But anyway, what happened in the show? It's gonna be a bit vague, but what I do remember is it was going pretty well for them. That is Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. It was an even match, to be honest. Like I've said, it wasn't a very memorable pay-per-view aside from the crowd making. Was the best part. Love for WWE to go back to Paris. That was awesome. So Randy Orton and Kevin Owens were it was a back and forth match from what I remember. They and then things went sour, especially later in the match. I can't remember if Randy Orton even got to hit an RKO. There was a lot of, I think there was a couple off the top rope. It was crazy. They could have made it a little more interesting, but it was a good match. However, I don't remember his name, but another Tama Tonga's brother ended up showing up and joining the Bloodline during this match, and helped assist beating the ever-loving crap out of Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. One thing that was for certain, they were, taken outside the ring, into like the crowd, slammed off of everything. Anyway, they ended up taking the win over Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. And one thing I will remember, unfortunately, because it was disgusting, at the end of the match, Kevin Owens is on the mat on the ground and they're all standing around, but they had to zoom in on Kevin Owens' face as he's literally drooling and spitting out. It was disgusting. It was gross. Why they had to zoom in on him literally just drooling gigantic amounts of God knows what out of his mouth was absolutely nauseating. That was not fun. But anyway, other than that, that's really all that match was. That's like the most memorable part of the match was Kevin Owens drooling on the mat, and they had to zoom in closely on that. You could see the cells off of that saliva. They were very invested in that for some weird reason. Anyway, match 2. Boy, I don't remember a single bit of this. But, well, actually, this is a very interesting match. This actually might have been the match. This might have been like the match before the match that I didn't want to see. So I was already getting to that point. I was like, I kind of want to do something else for a little bit. But this is Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, and who else? And Bayley. So Bayley is a champion. This is for her title, and she won. I wanted Tiffany Stratton to win. Tiffy time, as they say. This might not be as long as the last one, only because when I was filmed the first episode, I was only filming it maybe the day after WrestleMania 40. This, I'm filming it a couple weeks after WrestleMania Backlash, so not exactly fresh in my head. Anyway, match 3, Jey Uso versus Damian Priest. Now, that one was fun. The worst part, J.D. McDonough. I hate that guy with literally every sliver of hope inside me. To be honest with you, at this point, I was like, I really don't care for this match. I don't care for any. This is mediocre. Can we have a return or something? No, honestly, there was nothing crazy about this show. But, I mean, Jey Uso was very close to winning. But obviously, the Bloodline bullcrap. I hope the Bloodline kind of falls. I mean, it's cool and all. But not really my favorite in terms of heel groups. But, yeah, it was some drop kicking, springboarding. To be honest, this isn't going to be my favorite episode to film. Not really, because of how meh this pay-per-view was, other than the fans. It's just not their fault. They picked a great place. I'm going to be honest with you, the booking was pretty atrocious. There was a lack of content going on there. To be fair, a lot of this is a bunch of fresh rivalries. And a lot of the time, fresh rivalries don't exactly... They don't really hit the mark well when they're first starting. You really gotta book well if you're gonna try to get a rivalry to look good as it's just starting. You really gotta make a really good start. You gotta hit the mark well, but that happens. Match 4, the Undisputed Championship. Cody Rhodes, as we talked about last time, he won. He won the match, finished the story. Always awesome. Against Roman, all that junk. We're not going to go into that again. But he defended his title. against AJ Styles. AJ is currently using a heel gimmick, which is the same gimmick he was using in TNA. Was it TNA? Yeah, TNA. Don't know why I had to think about that. For a minute there, I couldn't remember if he was in ECW or TNA, but he was in TNA. Which is like the, is it the Lone Wolf AJ Styles? I think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. But don't hate. You know what I mean. Yeah, I can't clearly remember everything that happened in that match, to be honest with you. What I can say, though, AJ Styles is not looking good at all anymore. I have a bad feeling that he's going to be leaving the company. His retirement match looks like it's coming up very soon, unfortunately. And he has high potential. He's always been a great star in the WWE. He's better as a face. They're also, well, it's not that. It's more that the WWE just doesn't know how to use him as a heel. Because obviously these guys aren't the same guys who were working on him as a heel in TNA. I don't like the direction they're going with him currently. But Cody Rhodes, again, obviously he retained. I would say if AJ won that, I wouldn't be necessarily mad, but it would make this whole finishing the story thing mean nothing. It'd be really, what I wouldn't mind is down the line if CM Punk turned heel and he took the title away from Cody. Now that actually wouldn't be half bad. Obviously he's not where he used to be, but I wouldn't mind one more world, like, huge title run from him. And then after that, stick to more like the world heavyweight title stuff. You know what I mean? That would be pretty cool. But, other than that, Cody Rhodes retained. I can't remember what moves or anything they did. How did he win? I forget how Cody won. Yeah, this episode's not going to be that great, like I said. Can't really remember a lot of the big details. But anyway, before we get into this last surprise segment I have for you guys, because as you notice, you could probably see more of the figures now, because last time it actually cut it off. As you can see, we also have Andre the Giant here, who was cut off last time. You couldn't see him. Can't remember which ones were also cut off. Kurt Angle, I think, was cut off, and possibly Goldberg. But I think Kurt Angle and Andre were definitely cut off. But you can see them all now. Still trying to figure out a full-fledged way. To me, this looks pretty good right now, but we're doing better. You can see them all now. Had to layer them a little bit. But, hey, what are you going to do? We'll figure it out. So, I've been noticing, and he's fast become one of my favorite wrestlers in recent time, in TNA. There is a wrestler named Joe Hendry, with one of the great... I would sing it, but one, I'm too self-conscious to, and two, one, I'm too self-conscious to, and two, I don't want to risk copyright. I don't know if WWE is going to be that sensitive that if I start singing it, I don't want to take that risk. Anyway, Joe Hendry has a great theme. I mean, check it out. It's called "I Believe in Joe Hendry." This guy's funny because literally the way any wrestler, if they even try to like attack him in any shape or form, he just makes a song about them and humiliates them. For instance, saying how Fandango, who's a former WWE wrestler, is a Total Divas reject. Total Divas is a show that used to, I don't even know if it still runs, about like the divas of WWE, and it was just basically a reality TV show. Not really great, I'll be honest with you. Pretty bad. But he tried to get with them, and they totally rejected him. If you know, you know. It was more than just getting with them, but you know what I mean. Failed miserably. And Joe Hendry made a song about that in TNA and roasted him. Because Fandango is in TNA now. I learned about this recently. He goes by Dirty Dango. His gimmick never changes. Anyway, still like him. Could have met him at Kowloon's. But, Yeah, I missed the date that he was doing the meet and greets. Anyway, to be honest with you, that's all I really have. Considering I didn't get to really see the show, to rewatch some of WrestleMania Backlash to get an idea of what to say. That's my fault. But anyway, with that being said, well, fellas, it's, that's really all I have. So I will see you in the next one.